Good morning, students. How are you all? Hope you all are fine and safe at your home. So students, welcome back in your mathematics class. This class for 9th, chapter 8, chapter name quadrilateral. Students, today we are going to start your new chapter quadrilateral. This is our lecture 1. So in this lecture today we will discuss about introduction, angle sum property of a quadrilateral, third, type of quadrilaterals, and fourth, theorem 8.1 and 8.2. So we will discuss all these things in today's lecture. So students, we will start our lecture with quadrilateral. The word quadrilateral means, qua means 4, quad means 4, and lateral means sides. So it means it is a figure bounded by 4 line segments such that no 3 of them are parallel, because if you know that we have quadrilateral like this. We have a quadrilateral like this in which a figure bounded by 4 line segments such that no 3 of them parallel to each other. Or we can say the definition of a quadrilateral in another way, that it is a closed two-dimension shape which has 4 straight sides and the polygon has 4 vertices or chord. So students, this is a simple quadrilateral in which 4 line segments AB, BC, CD and DA. 4 angles are also there, angle D, angle C, angle A, angle B, and 4 vertices are there, vertex A, vertex B, vertex C and vertex D. So these two definitions are present in the front of you. You can learn any one definition. A figure bounded by 4 line segments such that no 3 of them are parallel to each other, or it is a closed two-dimensional shape which has 4 straight sides. The polygon has 4 vertices or corners. So this is the definition of quadrilateral. If we will take an example of a quadrilateral ABCD, it is an example of a quadrilateral. We will discuss the parts of a quadrilateral. So first of all, we have sides. We have 4 sides, AB, BC, CD and DA. All 4 sides are there. We have 4 angles, angle A, angle B, angle C and angle D. We have 2 diagonals, AC and BD. AC and BD are the 2 diagonals. So students, next term is consecutive or adjacent sides. The word adjacent or consecutive means lagatar, one after another, one after another. So adjacent side means one after another. So consecutive or adjacent sides, 2 sides of a quadrilateral are consecutive or adjacent if they have a common vertex. If they have a common vertex, like example, AB and BC are the consecutive or adjacent side because they have a common vertex and vertex B. AD and DC are also adjacent sides because they have a common vertex D. DA and AB are the adjacent sides because they have a common vertex C. Similarly, DC and BC are also the adjacent sides because they have a common vertex C. So these are the consecutive of adjacent sides which they have common vertex. Next, opposite sides. 2 sides of a quadrilateral are opposite sides if they have no common end point or no common vertex. We call them AB and DC as opposite sides because they do not have any common vertex. AD and BC are also 2 opposite sides because they do not have any common vertex. Next one is consecutive angles. Like it is clear with consecutive, the consecutive angles of a quadrilateral are 2 angles which include a side in their intersection. In the other words, we can say 2 angles are consecutive if they have a common arm. Similarly, angle A and angle B are consecutive angles because they have a common arm, and angle B and angle C are also consecutive because they have a common arm. A and angle A and angle D are also consecutive angles because they have a common arm AD. So students, this is consecutive angles. Next one is opposite angles. The angles of a quadrilateral are said to be opposite angles if they do not have a common arm. If they do not have a common arm. So, angle A and angle C are the opposite angles because they do not have a common arm. Angle B and angle D are the opposite angles because they do not have any common arm. So, students, from this diagram we learn 4 new things: consecutive of adjacent sides or opposite sides, consecutive of or adjacent angles or opposite angles. Now we will switch on our next topic, angle sum property of a quadrilateral. This is your angle sum property of a quadrilateral. So students, now we learn what is angle sum property of a quadrilateral. We have a quadrilateral ABCD. We have to prove that angle sum property of a quadrilateral. So what is given? ABCD is a quadrilateral is given. We have to prove that angle A, angle B, angle C, angle D, the sum of all 4 angles are equal to 360 degree. This is angle sum property of a quadrilateral. Like the angle sum property of triangle was angle A plus angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. So this is quadrilateral. So sum of all 4 angles are 360 degree. So we will do a construction. We will join AC. We will draw a diagonal join AC. Now in triangle ABC, angle 2 plus angle B, angle 2 plus angle B plus angle 3 are equal to 180. Why 180? Because you know it very well. It is angle sum property of a triangle. Angle sum property of a triangle. In triangle ADC, angle 4 angle plus angle D plus angle 1 is also equal to 180 degree. Same with the same reason, angle sum property of a triangle. Add equation number 1 and 2. Angle 2 plus angle B plus angle 3 plus angle 4 plus angle D plus angle 1 is equal to 360 degree. A plus B plus C plus D is also equal to 160 degree because we know that 2, 3, 4 and 1 are the combined angles in the form of angle A and C. So the sum of all 4 angles are equal to 360 degree. It is angle sum property of a triangle and we want to prove this, and this is proved. So we call them hence proved. Next topic is type of quadrilateral. Type of quadrilateral. Type of quadrilateral, we will start with parallelogram. A quadrilateral in which both the pair of opposite sides are parallel is called a parallelogram. If we have a quadrilateral like this, quadrilateral ABCD, in this diagram, if opposite pair AB and DC and the second pair BC and AD are parallel to each other, then we call it as parallelogram. So a quadrilateral in which both the pair of opposite sides are parallel, we call it a parallelogram. Other properties of a parallelogram are the opposite sides and the angles are equal. Opposite sides are parallel, we already discussed, but opposite sides are equal also in parallelogram. So opposite angles are also equal. Angle A is equal to angle C, angle B is equal to angle D. The adjacent angles are supplementary. Adjacent angles are supplementary means angle A plus B is equal to 180 degree. Angle B plus C is equal to 180 degree. Angle C plus D is also equal to 180 degree supplementary, and A and D are also adjacent angles, so the angle A plus angle D are also supplementary. The diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. In a parallelogram, when we will draw the diagonal, they bisect each other at a point. Bisect means cut into two equal parts. So what are the property of a parallelogram? In a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal and parallel, opposite angles are equal, adjacent angles are supplementary, and the diagonals are bisect each other. You have to learn all the properties. Second one is rectangle. If one angle of a parallelogram is a right angle, then it is called a rectangle. Students, we will discuss our definition of rectangle in the form of parallelogram. We have a parallelogram because we know now all the properties of a parallelogram. If one angle in a parallelogram is 90 degree, then it become a rectangle. How it become a rectangle? It means rectangle has all the properties of a parallelogram. Opposite sides are equal and parallel. Opposite angles are equal and diagonals are bisect each other. No. So students, first of all, if we have a parallelogram in which one angle is 90 degree, so all angles are 90 degree because in parallelogram opposite angles are equal and adjacent angles are supplementary. So all angles are right angle. Diagonals are equal because in parallelogram they bisect each other. If these two angles are equal, definitely they bisect each other at same point and they are equal also. Every rectangle is a parallelogram. It means if we have one angle in a parallelogram is 90 degree, it is a parallelogram. All angles are right angle. Diagonals are equal in the rectangle. It means it also has a property of a parallelogram that they bisect each other. Every rectangle is a parallelogram. So students, this is second type of quadrilateral rectangle. Now third one is rhombus. Third one is rhombus. Rhombus is also like a parallelogram. If two adjacent sides of a parallelogram are equal, then we called it as rhombus. In parallelogram, adjacent sides are not equal to each other. Opposite sides are equal to each other. If in any case in a parallelogram, adjacent sides are equal to each other, we called it as rhombus because in rhombus all sides are equal. Diagonals of a rhombus intersect at 90 degree. It means diagonals of a rhombus are intersect at 90 degree. Here also, here also, here also. The total sum is 360 degree. So if two adjacent sides of a parallelogram are equal, then we called it as rhombus. All sides are equal. Diagonals of a rhombus intersect at right angle. Another two properties of a rhombus. Diagonals bisect the angle of rhombus. It means diagonals also bisect the rhombus angles. Angles of rhombus. Every rhombus is a parallelogram. All rectangle and rhombus are the parallelograms. Fourth figure is square. Fourth figure is square. Most of the student is used to with the square. We know that square is also a like a parallelogram A, B, C, D. So students, if two adjacent sides of a rectangle are equal, what was the property of a rectangle? Opposite sides are equal and parallel to each other. One angle is 90 degree, diagonals are equal and all rectangles are parallelogram. So students, if two adjacent sides of a rectangle are equal, it means they are equal to each other opposite sides. Now if they adjacent sides are equal to each other, it means all four sides are equal to each other, and in rectangle 90 degree angle is also present. Then we called it as square. If one angle of a rhombus is 90 degree, then we called it as square. We also compare the definition of a square with rhombus. In rhombus, if one angle is 90 degree, then we called it as a square because we know it very well. Then if one angle is 90 degree, then the other angles are automatically 90 degree. So if two adjacent sides of a rectangle are equal, then it is a square. Or if one angle of a rhombus is 90 degree, then it is also a square. The properties of a square are all angles are right angles, all sides are equal, all diagonals are equal. All means two diagonals. We have two diagonals in quadrilateral. Diagonal intersect at 90 degree and bisect the angles of square. Diagonals intersect at 90 degree and bisect the angle of square. It means squares angle are bisect each other at 90 degree and they bisect the angles also. It means 1 is equal to 2, 3 is equal to 4, 5 is equal to 6, 7 is equal to 8. Diagonals intersect at 90 degree and bisect angles of square. Every square is a parallelogram. Every square is a parallelogram, rectangle and rhombus. It means square has all the properties of a parallelogram, rectangle and rhombus. Every square is a parallelogram, rectangle and rhombus. So student, next definition is trapezium. We have two types of trapezium, a simple trapezium or isosceles trapezium. So students, in a trapezium, first of all, trapezium is like this. A quadrilateral in which one pair of opposite sides is parallel is called a trapezium. In this quadrilateral, only one pair, AB and DC, are parallel to each other. AD and BC are not parallel to each other. So a quadrilateral in which only one pair is parallel to each other, we called it as trapezium, because rest of which we already learned in all the diagrams or types, we have the both pair are parallel to each other. But in a trapezium, it is a special case. Only one pair is parallel to each other, another pair is not parallel. The parallel sides are called the base of a trapezium. The parallel sides are called the base of a trapezium, and adjacent angles are supplementary. And adjacent angles means angle A and angle B. No, adjacent angles not, because students try to understand, if these two sides are parallel, then this is transversal, so that definitely angle A and D are supplementary and angle C and B are supplementary. Only two pairs are there, not four pairs, because these two lines are parallel. This is a transversal, so A plus D is equal to 180 degree and C plus B is also 180 degree. So when in a quadrilateral, one pair of sides are parallel to each other, it is a trapezium. Parallel sides will be taken as base, and the non-parallel sides are present with the two adjacent angles. They are supplementary. Now we will discuss an isosceles trapezium. Isosceles trapezium. When in a simple trapezium, one pair of the sides are parallel and non-parallel sides are equal. When non-parallel sides are equal, then it becomes a isosceles trapezium, because when two sides are equal in a triangle, we called it as isosceles triangle, and when two sides are equal in it, we called it as isosceles trapezium. If two non-parallel sides of a trapezium are equal, then it is called an isosceles trapezium. Other properties of isosceles trapezium: adjacent angles are supplementary. Same, we like trapezium. Angles on the same base are equal. Angles on the same base are equal. It means if we have a trapezium like this, so angles on a same base, these two angles are equal to each other and these two angles are equal to each other, and diagonals are equal in length. So students, these two special identities, or these two special properties are for only on isosceles trapezium. In a simple trapezium, base angles are not equal and diagonal are also not equal. In isosceles trapezium, base angles and diagonals are equal. So next diagram is kite. You know it very well. What is a kite? So students, kite. A quadrilateral in which two pair of adjacent sides are equal, we called it as kite. It is a very special. This is a diagram of kite. If two adjacent sides, these two adjacent sides are equal to each other and these two adjacent sides are equal to each other. AD equal CD and AB equal CB. So student, if two adjacent sides are equal in in a quadrilateral, we called it as kite. We called it as kite. So students, the properties of a kite are: the diagonal intersect at 90 degree. Both diagonals are intersect each other at 90 degree. Angle A and angle C are equal to each other, and diagonal AO or OC bisect into two equal parts by DB. In this diagram, only one diagonal is bisected. DB is not bisected into two equal parts because DO and BO are not equal to each other. These two angles are equal only. These two angles are not equal to each other, and these two parts of the same diagonal are not equal to each other. Only AO and OC are equal to each other. So students, diagonal BD bisect angle B as well as angle D. Diagonal B and diagonal D is bisected by BD. BD divides the kite into two congruent triangles. BD divides the triangle into two congruent triangles. for congruency, students, we need three elements. You know it very well. Let me check that they are congruent or not. First of all, in triangle ABD and triangle CBD, this side is equal to this side, given. This side is equal to this side, given. And DB is common. So by SSS congruence rule, both the triangles are congruent. Yes, it is possible. BD, it is correct. BD divide the guide into congruent triangle, these two triangles. Now student, with this type of quadrilateral, all quadrilaterals are finished. Now we will start our theorem. We will start our theorem 8.1. So students, theorem 8.1 is a diagonal of a parallelogram, divide it into two congruent triangles. Read carefully. A diagonal of a parallelogram divides it into two congruent triangles. It means we have a parallelogram and a diagonal also. We have to prove that this diagonal divides the parallelogram into two triangles. And which type of triangle? Two congruent triangles. So students, what is given? We have to follow this procedure given to prove and proof. You remember about from chapter number 6, lines and angles, and chapter number 7, triangles. We have to follow this method here also. Given ABC is a parallelogram. When it is given that ABC is a parallelogram, it means all properties of a parallelogram are given already. What are the properties, students? You remember, opposite sides are equal and parallel, opposite angles are equal, diagonals are bisect each other, adjacent angles are supplementary. So all properties are given to us. To prove, we have to prove that triangle ABC and triangle CDA are congruent to each other. So students, we will go with proof. BC and AD are parallel to each other. Definitely AC is a transversal line because the opposite sides of a parallelogram are parallel to each other. So this is a transversal line. Angle 1 and angle 2 are equal to each other because a pair of alternate interior angle. Angle 3 and angle 4 are also equal to each other with the same reason, pair of alternate interior angle. AC is a common. AC is a common. So by which congruence rule? We will see in this ASA. In the triangle ABC, we use angle 1, angle 4 and AC. So it is ASA. So that by ASA congruence rule, we have both the triangles are congruent to each other. So student, this was your first theorem. It was very easy. Now second theorem is also very easy. Second theorem, theorem 8.2 is, in a parallelogram opposite sides are equal. We have to prove that opposite sides are equal. Most of the students are thinking now that in a parallelogram opposite sides are already equal to each other, but beta, it is a theorem. We have to prove that it is possible in parallelogram. We have all properties with us with parallelogram, only this property we have to prove it again. So given we have a parallelogram ABCD, and in which we have to prove that AB and DC are equal to each other, AD and BC are equal to each other. So similarly, with like your first theorem, we will join diagonal AC and convert this parallelogram into two triangles. We know it very well that two triangles are congruent, but we use, because it is a theorem, if it is a question, then we will directly write that diagonal of a parallelogram divided into two congruent triangle. Now we will prove the congruency again. So we have a triangle ABC and ADC. So angle 1 and angle 2 are equal to each other with a pair of alternate interior angles. Angle 3 and angle 4 are also equal to each other with a pair of alternate interior angles. AC is equal to AC common. So students, by ASA congruence rule, we have both the triangles are congruent to each other. Now AB is equal to DC and AD is equal to BC by CPCT. What is CPCT? Corresponding parts of congruent triangle. Because we know it very well, if two triangles are congruent with three elements, then the rest of the three elements are already equal to each other. So students, you can prove this congruency with the another congruence rule. It is not compulsory that you have to use ASA. Try to use your brain and try to make another congruence rule for this theorem. It is also possible. So student, with this theorem, today's lecture is finished now. Now today's homework. Student, this is your homework today. You have to learn all the definition which we discussed, and learn all the properties of all the type of quadrilateral, and learn angles and property also, and do the theorem 8.1 and 8.2, and also write all the properties in your homework notebook. You have to send all the homework pics to me on my email ID. So students, for enjoying more videos, you have to subscribe at Quack channel, like and sharing the videos. Thank you. Have a nice day.